Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Unit 3 source, a new source, actually. It is called What We Plant, We Will Eat. It's a short story, actually, so it's a little bit different. Everything we have dealt with so far up until now has been either speeches. We started with Let South Africa Show the World How to Forgive, which is just an incredibly important source. That's why, of course, why we're using it as our first source to answer the question, which is better, forgiveness or revenge? Which is better, virtue or vengeance? The second source that we read was, of course, the article Forgiveness Defined, which told us a lot about what it means to forgive and the health factors that it has. Then the third thing we read was The Power of Forgiveness, which again told us more things about the positive effects of forgiving people, how it helps you to move forward in your life and, to be more happy. The fourth thing we read was the 7 reasons why seeking revenge is a bad idea. So it actually went the other side. It didn't tell us why forgiveness is good, but it told us why revenge is bad. And it gave us 7 reasons why revenge is bad. And now today we're going to be reading a short story, and it is called What We Plant, We Will Eat. So please enjoy. This is actually a fable. It's very important. So let's read it. What we plant, we will eat. A long time ago, 2 brothers lived with their father in a small house in Korea. The younger brother worked hard and was kind to everyone, but the older boy was arrogant and proud. He scorned his younger brother and ignored his aging father. Every night after supper, the father would say, "Remember, boys, what you plant, you will eat." The younger son listened politely to his father, but the elder son would yawn and walk away. The father watched him go with sadness. On his deathbed, the father beckoned the 2 brothers close to him. "Remember, my sons, that nothing is as important as family. Share this property and work together. I leave this land to both of you." The older brother was angry. The law said that the eldest son inherited everything. So, as soon as his father's funeral was over, he threw his younger brother out of their home, ignoring his father's last wish. Heartbroken, the younger brother walked for many miles until he found some land that nobody wanted. He planted a small crop of rice and built a mud cottage with a roof made from the dirty straw that dropped from passing farm carts. By saving and scraping by, he managed to make enough money to marry and have a family. One year, the rains didn't come and the younger son's rice crop died. It broke his heart to hear his wife and children moaning with hunger. So he went to his wealthy brother to ask him to share some of the rice raised on the property which their father had willed to them both. "It's my rice crop now," the elder brother said, and he slammed the front door in his younger brother's face. As the younger brother left the village, he heard a noise from a tree above him. A snake was attacking a baby swallow. The tiny bird tried to escape, but it was too young to fly and fell to the ground instead. The younger brother picked the bird up and held it gently in his hands. When the snake slid away, he returned the baby to its nest and went home to his starving family. The next few weeks were hard. The younger brother gave every spare scrap of food to his hungry children. Then one day, a tiny swallow flew to their house and landed on the thatch. It was the baby swallow the younger brother had rescued. Now able to fly, the swallow sat on the thatch and sang its thanks to the family. Then it circled the younger brother's house 3 times and dropped a large seed into a damp patch of earth. As the family watched, the seed started to grow into a vine, which grew and grew. Within minutes, juicy melons were growing on the vine, and soon they were ripe and ready to pick. "Father, may we eat a magic melon?" cried the hungry children. The younger brother pulled a melon off the vine and cut it open. Instead of fruit, the melon was filled with gold coins that fell at his feet. Every melon was full of gold. The younger brother and his family were now rich beyond their wildest dreams. They had plenty to eat. They bought a large house with lots of land and grew many crops. When the older brother heard what had happened, he was very jealous and started searching for a magic bird, as he too wanted more money and more land. When at last he stumbled upon a little bird with a broken leg, he picked it up, saying, "I will help you, little bird, if you will help me." Wow. Did you hear that? He said to a little hurt bird, "I will help you, little bird, if you will help me." There's nothing more to say. I mean, what can you say about that? That's wildly, Wrong. Little bird needs your help. Help him. However, the little bird could see that the older brother was cruel and greedy. When its leg healed, it flew to the elder brother's house, circled his head 3 times, and dropped a seed into the moist soil. Expecting the same good luck as the younger brother, the elder brother watched the melons grow larger and larger and then picked the most enormous melon and cut it open. Instead of gold coins, 100 warriors jumped out of the melon. They stole all his money and hit him with sticks. OMG. Did everybody hear that? Let me read that again. Expecting the same good luck as his younger brother, the elder brother watched the melons grow larger and larger and then picked the most enormous melon and cut it open. Instead of gold coins, 100 warriors jumped out of the melon. They stole all his money and hit him with sticks. Oh, it just cracks me up because this greedy guy, he helps a little bird so that he can get, rich. And it turns out that the bird knew he was greedy and they send warriors. And, ironically, what happens, the opposite of becoming rich, they took all his money. So that means that he has nothing now. I find that ironic. Does he deserve that? I don't think so. I never think that anybody deserves something bad to happen to them because they wish bad to happen to other people or because they only want good things to happen for themselves. It's just not, I think I want everybody to be happy no matter who they are and to have good luck and follow their dreams and succeed in their dreams. But some people would tell you that he deserved this because of what he did. Now, for what he did against the bird, helping the bird just so he could get something, does he deserve to have all his money stolen? Absolutely not. Some people might say, though, that he might deserve to have all his money taken for him because of what he did to his brother. Now, the law said that he didn't have to share with his brother, but his father, who owned the money and made it himself and willed it to them, said that they should share it. So honoring the father's will and his family should have been more important, of course. Let's continue. This isn't done. Unable to believe that all the melons were bad, the elder brother crawled over to the second melon, expecting to find enough gold to make up for the beating he'd received from the warriors. However, this melon was full of hissing snakes that slithered straight into his house. All right, so the brother he cracked into another melon, and snakes come out and go into his home. That's not good, especially if he has a family in there. He does, right? He cut open a third melon and had to dodge out of the way as an army of rats rushed out. By this time, the magical melons. Hold on, I lost my spot again. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. By this time, the magical melons were bursting open on their own, releasing spiders, ants, termites, bees, and many other creatures which invaded his house and farm, destroying everything. OMG. Now, this is, what is better, forgiveness or revenge? Would the younger brother, I guess this is the real question, because who's taking out their revenge now on the man? The little bird seems to be, and wow. But would the little brother do this to his older brother? Would the little brother wish this upon his older brother? That's a very interesting question. I don't think so. He seems like a nice guy, but let's find out what's going on. He cut open a third melon. I did that one. By this time, the magical melons were bursting open on their own, releasing spiders, ants, termites, bees, and many other creatures which invaded his house and farm, destroying everything. The other brother ran away from his ruined house and lands. Poorer even than his younger brother had once been, he wandered from village to village, begging for food. Okay, so it doesn't say anything about having a family. That helps. One day, he saw his younger brother standing a few feet away, holding a hoe. Expecting his brother to turn him away, he began to walk off. See, that's interesting. He expected his younger brother to turn him away. Now, why would you expect your younger brother to turn you away? This is your brother. You're poor. You're in need. Wouldn't your brother take care of you? And why would you expect your younger brother not to? And I guess the answer is because he wouldn't help his younger brother. So he expects his brother would take revenge out on him because that's what he would do to him. And not all people are like that. I said it to you before. I wouldn't want to do that to somebody. I don't believe taking revenge out on somebody is good for you, yourself, much less that person, especially if it's somebody in your family. Forgiveness is what keeps families together, is it not? Think about it. How many times do you fight with your brothers and sisters or your parents? When you get married, will you be fighting with your spouse? Oh my gosh, just wait for it. Of course, conflict is part of life. The question is how you get over it and how you forgive. Watch. However, his brother looked at him kindly and said, "Let us do what our father asked and sow a new crop together. For what we plant, we will eat. The elder brother looked up with tears in his eyes and accepted the hoe from his younger brother's hand. From that day on, they worked hard together and shared everything. So think about this. What is the story? What is the theme of the story? What is it trying to teach us? What is the author of this fable telling us? That wishing bad upon other people is bad for you, right? It's kind of like a karma thing, right? And that's what happened in this story. The guy was evil. He was bad. So bad things came back and happens to him. So if somebody does something bad to you and you wish something bad back on them, then bad things. I mean, think about this. The younger brother, imagine if he had, this would be an interesting end to the story. If the younger brother said, get out of here. You dissed me. You're out of here. What would happen to the younger brother? Based upon this story, I could see, another little bird coming in or something coming in. And then all of a sudden, everything he has goes away. He loses it all because he took revenge. It's his forgiveness that moves everything forward. And it's also that he was that good in the beginning that all the good stuff happened for him as well, that the bird helped him. And I think he helped the bird for nothing. He didn't look for anything from the bird. He just helped the bird. And then he went on his sad and poor way. And good things happened for him. So now your job is, of course, to do 3 or 4 or 5 annotations on this story about forgiveness and revenge. So think about it. Think about quotes that you can use that would be good for forgiveness or for revenge. I mean, look at the quote. Remember, boys, what you plant, you will eat. That's a metaphorical way of saying what you do comes back for you, right? So if you're a good person, what you plant will come back to you in good ways. And if you're a bad person, what you plant metaphorically will come back to you in bad ways. So that's a metaphorical way of talking about forgiveness and revenge. So that's a good quote. Let's see, what else do we have? Remember sons. Remember, my sons, that nothing is as important as family. That's an interesting quote, especially if you're talking about forgiveness. There's so many more. Let's keep going. I'll give you, you can turn off right now. This is just for ideas for people, for the annotations. Although it's probably in class, so I'm going to keep it on for a minute. But let's just see if we see any more good ideas that we can talk about. Clearly you can come up with this quote right here. I will help you, little bird, if you will help me. That quote shows that his heart is not in the right place and why things come back to get him, the whole karma thing, which then goes hand in hand with revenge and forgiveness, and why forgiveness is good and revenge is bad, because the cycle keeps going around and around. And this, I will help you, little bird, if you will help me, is part of that cycle of badness going around and around. And look at the next sentence. However, the little bird could see that the older brother was cruel and greedy. That's another great sentence. Expecting the same, let's see. He says it again, they stole all his money and hit him with sticks. It just cracks me up. And you could use that as a sentence. They stole all his money and hit him with sticks. This is, part of that's him getting back for what he did, the evil that he did, coming back to get him. So it shows that his revenge was bad for him. Let's keep going. Look at the end. Expecting his brother to turn away, he began to walk off. So again, it's the whole revenge circle. However, his brother looked at him kindly and said, let us do what our father asked and sow a new crop together. For what we plant, we will eat. Think about that. That's a great quote. And then look at this. The elder brother looked up with tears in his eyes and accepted the hoe from his younger brother's hand. From that day on, they worked hard together and shared everything. And that shows you that forgiveness is the proper way to go. Because remember, the whole purpose of this question is, which is better, forgiveness or revenge? And forgiveness is clearly the better way. And this story shows it. And this quote, consider the following quote. From that day on, they worked hard together and shared everything. This quote clearly shows that forgiveness is the better way. It makes people happier, allows them to move forward and have a happy life. Boom, I'm out. Nice job, everybody. Thank you very much.